Dominican immigration in the United States. Experiences shaped by structural forces. In this video, I will discuss what historical, economic, social, and racial factors in the Dominican Republic and in the United States influence the transnational Dominican immigrant experience, specifically in the northeastern region of the United States. Let us start when it all began. It is the 19th century, the start of the sugar industry boom, and the white elites from Cuba, Spain, and Puerto Rico arose and overshadowed the poor Hispanics and Latinos of their communities. However, at this point in time, the Dominican Republic in 1870 was neither anti-Black nor anti-Haitian, but instead more open-minded to the integration of cultures. Shortly after, in 1882, Ulysses Herreau began his rule along with the demise of the darker and lower-class Dominican people. Herreau devastated the economy, which caused the crime rates among the darker lower class to rise, setting the precedent for lower and darker classes to be seen as uncivilized. An example of intentional hindrances by the government includes a law passed in 1929 which denied Dominican nationality to Dominicans of Haitian descent. In 1930, Rafael Trujillo became president along with his elected white officers who looked down upon Black and Haitian people. Whiteness began to be associated with the success of modernization and globalization in the Dominican Republic. The Dominican Republic's political officials aimed to mirror the U.S. at the time. In 1937, Trujillo took his racist ideologies and partook in the nation-building project, which removed and massacred Haitians as well as other undesirable bodies from the nation. The test performed that tried to distinguish between Haitians and non-Haitians was the parsley test, which tested participants of the pronunciation of the word perejil, Spanish for parsley. Within a few months, between 12 and 20,000 people were murdered. Let us move on to discuss the more recent 21st century in the United States of America. The historic events that which took place in the Dominican Republic were not isolated events. These events, each and every Dominican carries, whether they are aware of them or not. Prior to the arrival of Dominican immigrants to the United States, the idea of whiteness going hand in hand with success was already present. The sense of inferiority because of one's skin color caused some to regret their roots. The famous Dominican baseball player, Sammy Sosa, who played for the Chicago Cubs, allegedly bleached his skin to match his skin with his success. Transnational behavior and orientation also depended on class and available resources. Economic struggles were not something new to the lower class and darker individuals in both the United States as well as the Dominican Republic. Even New York City, where the Big Apple holds the dreams of many, Dominican immigrants, both men and women alike, have faced the struggles that come with being a part of lower classes. Young girls faced physical restrictions as well as home responsibilities that hindered their ability to educate themselves. It was not a lack of eagerness to learn, but a lack of opportunity. These young girls have watched their mothers struggle to support themselves after immigrating, and were instilled with fear to avoid following in her footsteps. Young boys faced a different issue. They ended up focusing their energy on proving their manhood in the streets, where sports, work, and women were more relevant. These communities and environments shaped Dominican immigrants into who they became, victims of their circumstances. Keep in mind, not every community and individual is the same. Dominican immigrants have also prospered in the United States. A way to prepare Dominican immigrant students for success is to have a sense of community inclusion. Dominican immigrant students were placed in the New York public school system and were educated on social mobility and academic achievement rather than being forced to adopt American norms and values. Their educators in this case used their transnational experiences to their benefit. A diverse group of students also encouraged them to feel more welcomed. The students they interacted with came from a variety of backgrounds, such as Guatemala, Bangladesh, Gambia, and Yemen, to name a few. Many students claimed that the diversity here in the U.S. was an advantage compared to the Dominican Republic, where there was not much diversity among students. Students were able to build strong ties and weak ties. Strong ties were made with people like themselves, and weak ties were made with people unlike them. This forced collaboration among the students, which prepared them for skills needed for higher education. International Academy of New York especially made the Dominican immigrant students feel included. Continuing with the theme of relationships, maintenance of transnational ties impacted their transition from the Dominican Republic to the United States. In order to remain in contact, many Dominican immigrants visited the Dominican Republic, spoke their native language, and sent remittances back home. Specifically, Dominican women were more reluctant to build new relationships in the U.S. Many women did not experience positive interactions with American women. Those women who were religious prior to their arrival maintained their faith, and through their faith, they built relationships with other loving women. Among the many determinants of Dominican experiences, historical events played a great role in how it was and is shaped. The environment Dominicans find themselves in also will shape how they view themselves and others around them. This not only includes class within a community, but the people within that community. Thank you for watching.